Hello and welcome to The Loop. I am Louis Robinson, and as always, joining me from the other side of the pond, Mr. Joe Dunbar. This week, though, someone new's joining the fence, right?
We've got a special guest in the house, don't we? Like the specialist of all the guests.
The special guest. There was talk about him taking over the show because amateur hour over here needs to give over to the professionals. But I think he twisted our arm and said, no, we've got to do our own job.
He's too busy.
I want to see what you guys are going to do. You know, I'm on a planetary schedule with you guys, dude. It's every 6 months I come around and that's where I show up. I was at Infocom. Now I'm back here 6 months later. You guys only remember my number every 6 months. I'm starting to get a little worried.
It's planetary. I like that one. You've got the gravitational pull, and every 6 months we come back around to you. That's good.
Like a bad moon, dude.
Mr. Chris Neto, world famous AV in the end of Starin fame I got to see Chris earlier this week and spend some time with it at the Digital Signage Expo, which was nice. We saw the latest and greatest there, Louis. I won't drag you down into it, and LDI as well, but it was nice to spend a little time with him, and I'm excited to get him on the show and talk about. We've got a couple of things, right? We've got. We talked a little bit about this. It's the end of the year. We were talking about a year-end wrap-up. It's holiday season, so we kind of came down to. I thought it'd be great if each one of us brought a product or two. I really should say a solution or two, because it doesn't have to be an individual product to the table that we think that integrators should know about in 2025 and going into the new year. And then I think it'd be cool to tack on some wish list items that we would love to see from the industry for the year 2025. What do you guys think about this idea?
Yeah, it sounds good to me, mate. I've got like the list in my head of things that we've spoke about on the show, the things we've seen, the expos of this year, and all of the projects that have come up. It's going to be hard to fit this into 15 minutes, let's be honest, right? We can talk for hours on this one, but it's an exciting space to be. I think there's a lot of people at the moment talking about 2024, and it's been one of those years, but it's been quite an exciting year when you pull back the curtain as well and you see some of the stuff that's been going on. So I got a few items in the bag. Chris, you're everywhere. You've clearly got loads of exciting stuff to talk about that's come out of 2024, or things that you're looking forward to in the next year, right?
Not a damn thing, man. No, honestly, we do have some cool stuff, man. Actually, it's not actually the newest thing, but it's a new product line for Starin. So I'm super excited about the Edge Max that Bose brings to the table. If you haven't seen that speaker, it's quite unique. It's quite it answers problems, man. A lot of people look for whiz bang, very showy, cool products that stand out. For me, sometimes it's just something that fixes a problem. Putting a little corner, speaker in a corner that just enhances the audio. I've personally have said, and I've gone on record saying that audio is a very important thing for this year. A lot of people scale back their budgets. One of the things that they have invested in is better audio quality and stuff, whether it is, obviously there's going to be a lot of cool cameras in the UC space, a lot of cool things on the broadcast space, but quality audio, whether they're investing in microphones or speakers, has been a thing. Moving into the broadcast space, the more I get involved with the broadcast production and media department and entertainment department that we have within our group, the more I'm seeing that, it's the accessory things. I saw some really cool PoE lights just recently at DSC, controlled, simple type stuff that you can add. You add a little bit of lighting to a UC space like the one I'm using here, and it just makes your camera look 100 times better. Small little details, dude. I really wish I had a specific name of the product, which I can't because this one's kind of a top secret that I have behind me. But if I was to tell you, get yourself a better light, not just talking about ring lights. When we're talking about these bigger UC installations, get some real deal controllable lighting things would be great. And obviously, I'm a fan of the Bose line, but in particular, the Edge Max. I thought that was pretty cool.
Chris's go-to.
That's an interesting topic, actually, on that. So I'm jumping right in again. I get too excited on these things, Chris. But that's an interesting topic you talk about there with the lighting piece. I'm 100% with you on audio, right? I've seen it over the past few years. People skimped out on audio, and I don't think they really realized how important it was until more people were going back to the office, right? And more people are in the rooms, and the rooms are just terrible acoustically. But that was a piece of the puzzle where now I'm talking to people, I'm kind of making that light bulb switch back on. And I say light bulb is in a little bit of a pun, because you talking about lighting is another one of those areas that time and time again, when I bring people into the demo centers, I say to them, what have you thought about audio? And they're like, and I'm like, that's really important. And then the next thing is, well, can people see you? How is the light? Or what are you doing with light? Like, how are you doing your rooms? I had someone recently wanting 100% to use projection. And then we were talking about how we would do the lighting in the room and how important it was to get the different areas of the room with the different light to make sure that the ROI on whatever they're putting in there is they're getting the use out of the product. So yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. It's exciting space to be looking at as well.
Projection and lighting are always an issue because you need it dark for one instance, but you have to be very controlled to have it lit, the presenters in the space. So yeah, man, it's tricky. Joe, I know you got something to say on that.
You got me so excited. The Edge Max solution from Bose Pro is, I was really critical of spatial audio kind of early in the game. Not gimmicky. I don't really think that's a fair word because there's a ton of engineering that goes into designing not just the Edge Max speaker, but any kind of spatial audio solution. It really made me go, what do we need this for in a conference room or a meeting space or something like that? And then I got a chance to actually hear the Edge Max speaker in application, and it really blew me away. Like the direction of the audio coming from where it should be coming from kind of really put it into alignment for me. Like, yeah, it's a fun thing to say, but does it matter? And how then you get into like, okay, how can it project? How well can it project? If it's directional, it's coming from an area, does it get across the room? Okay. And it can project, it's got powerful projection, but is it clear? And the Edge Max speaker ticks off a couple of those boxes. Lighting is a whole other subject that you guys hit on quite well. And I won't berate because I just agree with you guys both. Like, hugely important. If you're putting nice cameras in and you've got great audio pickup and your meeting room's coming together, but you've got fluorescent overhead lighting with poor shadows on the face, like what this does is make people not want to use it and not want to be on camera. And when people look, like they do in person, when it's an accurate representation, especially if it can be a flattering representation, all of a sudden they're getting real comfortable on camera, and that would improve those interactions, the visual cues that aren't part of the audio pickup, all those things. So I think a couple of good call outs by you guys. I've got two pieces if you guys will hear me out.
I'm not going to let you move. I'm not going to let you move, dude, because I still got something to say about that. Because
Chris, all right, we'll come back around on it. We'll have
to come back around. So two things that I need to point out that you said that kind of just of interest. One, you said spatial audio, and I know audiences are watching this, and then they're going, "Oh, there's no way, dude. There's no way we're ever going to get spatial." Guess what? It's not AV engineers that are going to be engineering this. It's companies like Microsoft that are putting this into the conversation, and we have no choice. We have to provide it. We have to provide the gear because Teams is going to be doing spatial audio. So, here it's an update. Right? You think, oh, I don't need spatial audio, cut it out, whatever. Well, guess what? It's coming with your team stuff. So get ready, because you may not want it. You may not think it's a big deal, but Microsoft's saying, go for it. And somebody up there is going to say, make it happen. Just like everything else. We're losing control of things that we can actually engineer in that. So spatial audio is coming regardless of what you may feel about it. The second thing that you said, as far as the cameras go, dude, I do not want to downplay any cameras, right? But 2024 was a lot of more cameras doing everybody's coming out with their special sauce, right? Yep. AI, It's the first time you said it. We're about 10 minutes, not even 4 minutes into the thing. Somebody had to say it. I might as well be I want to say it. I want to plant the flag. Somebody's got to say AI in this podcast first, and I want to be that guy. So now that I've said AI, everybody's bringing their special sauce to the cameras. I wish I could tell you that I'm enamored by any one particular camera. They're all great. They're all doing really good stuff. One of the things that I saw in 2024 is that they're finally paying attention to the glass that's being used. So finally, these manufacturers are starting to put together cameras that are not just to get you by, because one of the things that we learned in the pandemic was that people are getting really comfortable in front of cameras. And that is where this whole broadcast media entertainment projects are kind of coming from, is that people got really, really, really good sitting in front of this camera thing. Streaming starts happening, lower thirds are now asked for, new style. People are finally starting to apply video first into their conversations in a corporate environment. It's not AV people that are doing that. It's the executives who now want to deliver a message, because in video, people are paying attention to a 30-second clip versus having a PDF. I'm talking really fast because I know that we're on a time crunch. I know that I'm from New Jersey. If you can't follow it, Brandon's going to have to add some captions later. But that's just my point, Joe. I'm done.
I love it. I'm not even going to contest anything. I think you're kind of spot on all this. The industry and the end user driving this. And Chris, it'll tie in great to my wish list when we get to that point, because I do bring up the Microsoft pushing the narrative thing Keep that right here because it's going to come back around full circle on it. Louis, we got to give it. What's a 2024 product that the folks, or not a 2024 product, but a year-end product that you think integrators need to know about and have in their tool bag?
So I've got really excited now because it's the end of year show, right? And I'm going to go on the Christmas theme. Yeah, I was going to set my lights to a little Christmas theme light, but I thought that was a bit too much.
Missed opportunity.
We got to keep somewhat on brand, right? But of recent, I've seen in Piccadilly Circus, there is Piccadilly Circus, big LED wall up there, advertisements running all day, every day. And as good as it looks, I'm not downplaying it here.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't much interaction, I don't think, too much there. However, Christmas advert, Coca-Cola, have now put up a QR code and Santa, right? And individuals can go up, they can scan the QR code, and now they can effectively, from my understanding of it, chat to Santa as if they're using like Chat GPT, AI driven engine, and design snow globes, and then send their personalized snow globes to individuals that they want to across their social media platforms, wherever they would like. It's personalized, and you're interacting with a massive LED wall in the middle of Piccadilly Circus, and it just gets you way more engrossed with come on, the Christmas spirit, right? It's all a little bit of fun. But going back an episode on what we was talking about, brand awareness and buying into things and making people feel like they can invite something into their homes, an advertisement like that and content like that takes it real, like to the next level of people. People are going to look at that and just fall in love with that, right? And they're going to be laughing and joking about the snow globes that they've made in the middle of Piccadilly Circus. It's Christmas. Everyone loves it. So I'm loving that at the moment. And I'm hoping that we see more of that going forward. We might see it in like smaller outlets, or other brands might buy into this and make it a little bit more user intuitive and friendly and bringing people in. So that's something I'm really loving at the moment. And I'm definitely going to head down to Piccadilly Circus. I finished for the year soon. I'm going to be going down. I'm going to be doing it. And the pair of you are going to be getting loads of snow globes.
I can't. So, I mean, we talked to Jake Berg at Render Impact Content Creation on the last episode. And so this actually plays right into that. What do we call, are we calling this interactive signage? I mean, it feels almost disingenuous or not, like it's not doing it justice, because this is kind of next level. It like hurts my brain to even think about what is required to make all that happen. But I mean, interactive signage 2.0.
I think it's quite nice as well for like, there's a lot of people that we throw AI around, like we're joking about it, right? We've said it before, the 10-minute mark, but people throw it around all of the time now. But there's still a lot of people that when you say to them, how would you use AI? They're like, I don't even know what it is. Like, I don't know. I just know that people use it and I know that it can do things for you, but I don't really know what it is. And I don't know where I'd use it in my day. There's going to be loads of people now that think that scan that QR code, make their own little snow globe, and that's their introduction into the future, right? Let's be honest, machine learning, I don't want to get too bogged down into it, but the things like quantum computing and AI and all of these new future trends that are coming up, that is the future, right? And being able to introduce people to those future technologies in something as simple as scan that, talk to Santa, make something that I can hold on to and give to people, like, and share across my social platforms. I think it's quite cool. I like that.
Yeah. No doubt about it. I think kind of you breaking it down too into like, yeah, all these big buzzwords and things like that. Like, okay, but what does it really mean? Well, your interaction with it is scanning the QR code and working with, you know, the interface there. And it's like, that's all technology that somebody designed and somebody integrated together and somebody installed. And as we know, like, high level first iteration of it, but it's going to scale down to a very, I mean, and I don't know how long, I don't even want to predict a timeline until that's like something we could regularly deploy in a shopping mall or something super easily, but it seems like it's right around the corner. Absolutely.
I do say as well, I did a little bit of homework on this one too, because part of the reason why I use this as an example is because I know how much, Chris, you love Coca-Cola adverts when they use moving LED walls.
I even grabbed an empty can of Coke that I have here. I'm not even drinking soda, to be honest with you, just to throw the pitch of Coke. That's great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's exactly. This was the setup. This was the 6-month setup. The planetary. We're back to this conversation again. No, I'm not talking about that. We will not go there.
Full circle, you guys. I went, I'm going to stay with the audio trend, right? This is much smaller in scale. Louis, we almost should have had you go last because that's such a grand thing that I feel like this is not diminish, but now it's like, oh, you showed up with that. But honestly, one of my favorite solutions, it was a 2024 product launch in development before that and talked about in 2023. But I'm just a big fan of the Shure MXW Next 2 system, which is basically a small wireless microphone system that is all encompassing. It's got, I don't want to, it's not full blown a DSP, but it does have DSP functionality built into it. You can use it in relatively intricate designs. And I feel like I still talk to a lot of people who are asking me for wireless microphones in a classroom or a meeting space or something like that, a training room. And they're talking about receivers and wireless frequencies and antennas and all this stuff. And it's like, man, here's a box. It's got, you can do a handheld, you can do a body pack. The base station is the receiver. It's on the kind of the latest iteration of wireless tech and DECT technology, in terms of meeting spaces anyway, right? So I'm a big fan of that solution. I think it's really cool. I think it answers a problem. I just like, do enough people know that this exists, or do they see it and kind of write it off as part of another family? I'm not sure, but no pun intended there. I'm going with the Shure MXW Next 2 system. I think that's just one of the coolest things out there. Can I tip my cap to the team at InnoGenie for their toggle rooms as well? I could talk about that product all day. In short, it helps you integrate a dedicated room solution and a BYOD solution. It actually works off 3 total inputs. I won't get into the weeds on it, but if you're looking to do a mixed room solution where you have a dedicated, maybe a native Microsoft Teams room, but you want to include BYOD functionality, and you don't want to be trapped in a manufacturer's ecosystem, because those solutions exist, but you have to live in their box. The InnoGenie toggle rooms is one of my favorite products as well. And guys, we're getting to it. I want to go wish list. I really want to hit everybody's wish list and see, okay, what do you want from the industry in 2025? What would you like to see, Chris Neto?
What would I like to see in 2025?
From the industry, from the manufacturers,
from the industry.
It doesn't have to be a product. It can be a solution. It can be an idea.
Yeah.
Just what would you like to see?
I'd like the further destruction of the walled gardens. I think that those need to come down. People operating in that kind of space. Yes, it's wonderful that you all want your ecosystems and walled gardens set up, but let's knock them down, because strategic alliances have been kind of the trend for the last 2 years. So let's keep that going. I wish that will continue. Coming from LDI and experiential and all the good things that we just spent a couple days in Vegas for. God, man, there is such a side of AV that AV people don't get to see if they don't go to one of those LDI or type of experiential shows. And in speaking to some of the experiential designers that were there from Moment Factory and from Float 4 and from all these different companies that are out there doing this cool stuff, what we do doesn't have to be boring. And I guess from an AV career perspective, and shout out to Denise Hughes, who wrote a book about careers that has been all over the internet, and a lot of AV people are doing it. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's over on it's all over LinkedIn and all over Amazon. Look up Denise Hughes and Whoop Jobs, WOOP, out in the UK. She wrote a really great book on how to jump into our industry. I think that for us in 2025, getting a lot of people into the space is crucial, and these experiential projects are probably the most mind-blowing. At one point, the Sphere was that, conversation piece, the things that I come back with from LDI and projects that people are working on for esports and for interactive, museums and stuff like that. I love the crossover. Steerable audio, for example, I think is finally going to enter the conversation of corporate space, where not just steerable microphones, but steerable audio, where now that was relegated to museum spaces where you walk up into a painting and you would only hear it within that certain circular circumference. I think that is going to be a player in the back to office conversation, and not the same lame conversation of how we're going to get people there. But now that you have a whole new design of how the offices are starting to lay out, I think that, this controllable audio and not letting it spill is an issue that we've had with open space design in the past, but we weren't going to go there with some of the technology. I think that the technology is getting there. There's a lot of cool stuff coming 2025 and beyond. And some of these experiential projects are going to push the envelope and allow people to say, how can I do that? Right. I'm finally now, and I can confirm that there's holoplot being done in spaces that are not just at the Sphere. Right. So to hear that now start going out more is interesting. So there's a bunch of stuff coming 2025. And Christmas shopping, dude. AI Christmas shopping was a big thing. Love it.
I love that you tied it back around with spatial audio as well. And I don't want to downplay the walled garden things and the ecosystems. I see why they have their place, but I am such a fan of the
Play nice with others. Play nice with others, dude. It's a good life lesson.
Louis, what does your wish list look like, my friend? What do you want to see?
So I'm going to tie this into one of the latest brands that we've taken on over here, one of the latest vendors we've taken on over in Midwich. I was watching a video recently of a chap that went over to Shenzhen in China. I'm probably butchering the name. Apologies, it's my dodgy accent. And he was showing how they're currently using drones. Now, this touched my heart because I live in a village and I don't get takeaways, right? It's a terrible thing about living in a village.
You're talking about food delivery, right?
Food delivery.
Right.
Yeah. Food delivery in the UK. Everyone else has like different brands that can deliver things to their door and restaurants love it. And in a village, you just don't really get that. Now, they're using drones to fly in takeaway orders to people in different locations around the city. Now, that's on my wish list, right? If you can just park a little drone station outside my house, I guarantee you I will help fund the takeaway empire.
I'm just picturing Louis' French fries being delivered, across every village as it gets to. He gets 2 French fries by the time it gets there.
I'm buying stock right now. If Louis is going to get on it. What do you do about cold food? How do you keep it 30 miles an hour in the air, just exposed like that? There's got to be.
I'm not worried about that bit at the moment.
Right.
If you can get the food to me, I've got a microwave. Right? There's another bit of tech there that don't need to be on the wish list. We were speaking about air fryers earlier. The microwave lives at home. If it needs warming, it needs warming. Just get it to me first.
That's fair. That's fair. I love that, man. I really, mine's a little more broad, I think, than what you guys are saying, but I'm looking, my wish list, I would love to see, and Chris, this ties back to talking about Microsoft leading the way, just because they are the giant. So I'm not saying they have to, but I'm calling on them right now. Microsoft, please jump in. I am looking for more inclusive support of combinable and divisible spaces and extended displays. Those are my 2 things that I want to see.
Dude, I love it when your nerdery just shines through.
You know what I mean? Like,
Jesus, dude.
It's so geek. Your stuff was so cool.
Full geek, man. You just went, I want a better divisible room technology.
I do. A better support for divisible space, because right now, if you have to design one, it can be a pain in the butt. Hey, shout out to the crew over at Yamaha. They have done a really great job with their audio, with their Adesia solutions, integrating combinable divisible support that can include support for video switching. Because if you're an audio company and you do combinable divisible spaces, they tend to just focus on all the audio. And then it's like, oh, here's a great solution. Well, if it doesn't do the displays, then we still have to go another step to get something in. So that's my wish, man. More support for combinable divisible spaces and extended displays, because I get those questions all the time.
I know a guy, dude. I couldn't be from Jersey and tell you I don't know a guy. I know a guy. We'll talk. We'll talk.
That is so Jersey. On the way out, you guys, I do got to say, I have one update. Neat just dropped a software update that's going to hit their main feed on Saturday, I believe, which is like the 13th or the 14th. Don't ask me about dates. So I think it's the 14th, and they're including dynamic mic selection. So the microphones can work in a Neat system between the bar up front, the Neat center that you might have on the table, and the Neat pad to pick up the best sound. So they've had those microphones in all those products, and each of them has been able to work for a while, but now they're really all working in harmony, and we're only continuing to see that get better. So I just had to slip that in. Anybody using Neat products out there, make sure your firmware updates are getting done, and you'll get all that latest functionality. And you guys, anybody, what else do you guys have? That might be 2024 in a bubble, huh?
That is, I'm going to say, it's, for me personally, it's been an exciting year. I know it's been a hard year this year, but it's been an exciting year. It's been a good year. I'm going to look back on 2024 and go, do you know what? Yeah, I was all right with that year.
2024 for me personally was good. It was very heavy on travel and a lot of cool things, a lot of cool people, a lot of cool places. very good. But obviously, we know that, obviously, without getting too political, presidential election here in the U.S. completely threw off a lot of things and a lot of plans. I'm excited for 2025 and seeing where it goes. I don't want to give any spoilers as to what's going to happen in 2025 because I could drop some spoilers right now and it would not be good. But stay tuned, folks. There is a lot of things happening and a lot of things changing and a lot of things for positive. Think positive, right? I think 2025 is going to be a very interesting year. We just got to make it through that first quarter because that first quarter is going to be a little rough. Right. Listen, one of the things that we've always done, whether it's town halls or any of these videos, man, we've been honest, we've been truthful. We don't want to sugarcoat it. 2025, the first quarter is going to be a little challenging. But once we get through that, I think things are going to open up and things are going to be better and things are going to look good. So let's stay positive. And I wish you all happy holidays. And I hope everybody, sticks around and sees what Starin's got cooking and Midwich has got cooking because man, again, I wish I could tell you, but I'm under NDA to tell you.
I can see you holding back. I know.
You don't understand.
Knowing
like Santa on the sleigh, I'm pulling the reindeer back. I'm like, don't go there just yet.
Chris has a bag full of toys and he wants to share them with everybody, but he can't.
Not just yet. It's not December 25th yet. Dude. It's coming.
I love it.
Coming.
Before we jump out, though, there is one spoiler that we're going to let out of the bag, and it's the reason why Joe is wearing blue this week. Right, I've gone into the future, Joe, and I've seen it.
Yeah,
the Lions are winning the Super Bowl, and Q1 is going to be a good Q1.
If the Lions beat the Chiefs, I'm okay with it, man. I'm pulling for you guys because I know it's been a tough run as a dynasty. So blue looks good on me anyway, but yeah, I had to do it for Louis.
2025 is going to be a good year, is all I'm saying. I've seen it already. I've visualized it. It's happening. We're in for the win.
Something about you may have hinted a little too much about what the color blue signifies for AV in the future. So.
I love it, you guys.
I thought you were going there, but we'll just leave that wrapped up in a gift.
We're getting too close to the edge there.
Easter egg, guys. Everybody. Well, hey, shout out to Chris for joining us. We appreciate, buddy, all the way in Jersey. Hey, Louis, my friend, as always, I appreciate chatting with you about this and about this kind of stuff. And, until next time, stay in tune and we'll keep you updated with what's going on in the loop.